Class ఉంది నా క్లాస్ ఉంది. Yeah, good morning. Today we discuss about the force current analogy for the previous problem. So last class we discussed about the force voltage analogy for a simple mechanical system like this. So there is a simple mechanical system here. So if you look at this, there is a simple mechanical system here. So for this simple mechanical system, we have drawn the equivalent mechanical system. Equivalent mechanical system, after drawing this, then writing the governing equation of this equivalent mechanical system. This is called governing equation of the mechanical system. After writing the governing equation, then we need to apply the Laplace transformation. That is like this. Then you have to take the force voltage analogy. In this, you need to replace the mechanical equivalent terms with the electrical terms. That is, force is with voltage, and then mass with the inductance, and the friction is going to be resistance. Spring constant is going to be reciprocal of capacitance. Like that, we need to change it. So once you find out that, we need to compare the equation. We need to compare the equation of that force equation with the voltage equation, and then rewrite the equation such a way that then we need to go for inverse Laplace transformation to write, time domain function, to develop a equivalent electrical network. So if you look at here, this is the voltage equation. Voltage is sum of all the say VL and VC and VR. It seems to be these L and C, inductor and the capacitor and the resistor. When they are connected in a series, then only it will be the voltage is equal to the sum of the individual elements voltages. So that's why this equivalent electrical network will be developed like this, by connecting inductor, then capacitor, then resistor. So likewise you can connect. Okay, next is force current analogy. So force current analogy, similar way, the force equation you have written in the above force voltage equation. That is f of s. We have the f of s. I'll write once again here. F of s is equal to m into s square plus k b into s plus k into x of s. So now if I write the current current equation, which is, we know that force current analogy. In the force current analogy, we know that what is the replacement of elements is force is replaced with the current, then mass is replaced with the capacitance, then friction coefficient is replaced with the reciprocal of resistance, then spring constant is replaced with the reciprocal of inductance, and displacement is replaced with the flux, then velocity is replaced with the potential or voltage. Okay, so this is what we need to do in the case of force current analogy. So if I write a current equation, that equivalent current equation for the above mechanical system, then I can get I is equal to I of s is equal to what we can write is s square, that is we discussed in the beginning. So 1 plus 1 by r into s plus 1 by l into, so here m is replaced with c, so that's why ms square cs square. Then b is replaced with 1 by rs plus k is replaced with 1 by l. Then x of s is replaced with the phi of s. So I can write this f of s equation with replacing the force current analogy terms. The replacement, how it can be done is by using this. So we know the mechanical governing equation. So for both the force voltage analogy and force current analogy, we use the governing mechanical equation. Then if it is a force voltage analogy, the replacement terms are different, and force current analogy, the replacement terms are force is equivalent to current in this case, and the mass is equivalent to capacitance, the friction is equivalent to the reciprocal of resistance, and the K is replaced with the 1 by L. So now I have replaced with this f of s equation like this. Now, of course, we know that pi of s is equal to, we know that because pi of s is obtained from the voltage equation. So voltage equation, I can write pi of s is equal to V of s by s. Okay, so I am replacing this pi of s with V of s by s and then substitute in the same equation. So I can write s square into c plus 1 by r into s plus 1 by L into V of s by s. Okay, next is by multiplying with the interior terms with this V of s by s, I am going to get I of s is equal to, so this s into s will be cancelled out. So I'll be getting say c into s into V of s, c into s into V of s, then plus 1 by r. So this is will be cancelled out. I'll be getting 1 by r. Then plus I'll be getting 1 by L into V of s by s, 1 by L into V of s by s. So now if I apply the inverse Laplace transformation, because I want to write the time domain equation now by applying the inverse Laplace transformation. After writing the time domain equation, then I have to develop the electrical network accordingly. So now apply the inverse Laplace transformation for the above equation. Inverse Laplace transformation. Okay, Laplace transformation for the above equation. So now if I apply this inverse Laplace transformation, okay, so yeah, so L inverse of I of s, that is equal to, C is the constant anyhow, I can take it as L inverse of s into V of s. I can say L inverse of s into V of s plus 1 by r. There is nothing is there in the this one, so V of s is multiplied here. So L inverse of V of s, okay, then plus 1 by L is a constant. Then I apply the L inverse of V of s by s. So don't confuse with this s and this s. Okay, this L is different. Okay, this L is different. This L represents the inductance. Okay, this L is different inductance. Don't confuse with this L and this L. This L represents the Laplace, inverse Laplace. Okay, inverse Laplace. Okay, so L inverse means inverse Laplace. Okay, so now I can after applying this inverse Laplace, so we know that L inverse of I of s is equal to I of t, then it's equal to c into s into V of s is nothing but d by dt of V of t. So d by dt of V of t, we can write d by dt of V of t plus 1 by r into V of t plus then 1 by L. So integral of V of t dt. So these are all the current equation through capacitor. This is the current equation through resistor. Then this is the current equation through inductor. So I of t, I can write I of t is equal to IC plus IR plus IL. So when this can be happen? So these three, sum of the currents. So it is equivalent to, this is, say, if I of t is the loop current, if I have taken the I of t as the current which is flows the electrical circuit. So where there are three components, that is capacitor and resistor and inductor, and I'm calculating the algebraic sum of this one. So this is happen only when there is all three elements are connected parallel, because the current split into three parallel connection. Whereas if it is in the series, in all the elements current will be same. So but here I am adding the algebraic sum of all the three elements, in the sense the current is splitting into three. It means that the three elements are connected in parallel. So by using this node method, by using this node method, not I need to develop electrical network. I need to develop an electrical network. So develop the electrical network. How to develop now? See here, there is a node here, that is V of t, and the current is flowing through this circuit where I of t is given. I of t is given. At this node, these three elements, which are say capacitor and as well as say resistor, okay, resistor, then inductor. So all three elements are connected parallel to each other. Then only the current can be split into IC plus IR plus IL. So now these three elements are, once again, see, this is the how the splitting of the current, which is coming here is I of t, and here is IC, and this is IR, and this is going to be IL. And once again, it is coming back to like this. So this is going to be, once again, this is I of t. So this is how the current is flowing through these electrical elements which are connected parallel. So this is what we can say equivalent electrical network using the FI analogy. So force current analogy and force voltage analogy, these are the analogous electrical network with a mechanical system. So that is what we have discussed. So we'll take one more example. Yeah. Now I take one more problem. Say I'll give you that mechanical system which is exists like this. Say for example, a damper is provided here, then a spring is provided here, then this spring is attached to some mass 2, we can say, then one more damper is attached to this mass, then this damper is attached to the one more mass element, say M1, and I'll say this is B1, and this is say B2, and this is say K. Okay, because there is only one spring, I can say it is a K only. Okay, now I have applied a force in this direction. F of t is applied force in this direction. So here, because of this mass and this mass, because of this mass, it exerts say x1 of t displacement, and because of this mass 2, it exerts one more displacement, that is x2 of t. So now for this mechanical system, we need to obtain the electrical analogous. Electrical analogous means equivalent circuit, analogous circuit. Okay, using FV analogy and FI analogy. So first and foremost thing is, if I want to write a FE analogy or FI analogy, whatever it is, first and foremost thing is draw the equivalent mechanical system. So we need to draw the equivalent mechanical system. So equivalent mechanical system. So after drawing the equivalent mechanical system, second step is governing equation to be written. Write governing equation. You need to write the governing equation, that is force is equal to, you need to write for the different nodes. And third one, after writing the governing equation, then replace the mechanical terms with electrical terms based on the analogy which you are using. Electrical terms based on these are the three very important steps which you need to follow to do this kind of steps. So for that, once you have written the mechanical physical system, then how to develop the equivalent mechanical system. So as I told you that, so the number of displacement will become the nodes in the equivalent mechanical system. How many number of displacements are there in this case? So if you look at, there is a here, if you look at, here is x1 of t is one displacement and x2 of 2 is a one displacement. So there are two displacements. So I can write two nodes here, node 1 and then say node 2. So this is the x1 is the displacement and node 2 is the x2 displacement, because whichever the displacements are present in this physical system, that you need to represent as a nodes. Now, what are the elements under the influence of the x1? Means, so what are the elements which undergoes the displacement under the influence of m1? So m1 is with respect to connected to this b1 and as well as m1. So now what I do is m1 and b1 is directly I can write under this x1 node, that is m1, and one more is b1. Say it is b1, and these two are parallelly connected under this because both undergoes the same displacement x1. And for this node we have applied a force. We have applied a force, that is f of t. That is f of t. That is f of t is applied to this node. Now coming to this x2 node, under this x2 node directly this m2 and k, directly this m2 and k are involved. So under the influence of x2t. So these two once again we need to connect parallelly. So one is m2, the other one is k, the other one is k. Then okay, so like this. Of course you can connect like this, also not an issue. Just I'm showing. Okay, now this is the element. If you look at that, B2 is the one which undergoes the influence of this X2 as well as X1, because it is in between these two mass elements M1 and M2. So when the B2 is in between M1 and M2, so that is which undergoes the displacement between the X1 and X2. It has the change in the displacement, that is X2 minus X1, X1 minus X2, change in the displacement between the nodes of x1 and x2. So what I do is I'll connect this damper B2 between the nodes. This is how I can draw. So now this is the equivalent mechanical system. That is the first step I have done. So how I have done, first identify the nodes. How many nodes, I mean how to identify the nodes? It is equal to the number of displacement present in the physical system. So now for this element x1 of t, these are the two direct elements which are under the influence of x1 of t, and under the influence of x2, these are the two direct elements, and in the influence of change in the displacement, this is the one element which undergoes the change in the displacement. So that is how we have, when it is the change in the displacement between the two nodes, then we need to connect these nodes like this. Okay, so once you do like this, now I have to write the equations. So when there are two nodes, the two nodes will be having two equations. So first we'll write x1 and x2. Okay, x1 and x2, and we'll be having in between x1 and x2 we have this one. So we need to have that some algebraic sum of forces. At each node will be equal to 0. That we need to take here. Okay, summation of force is equal to 0. Now you take it, if you take this at node x1, so if you write the this summation of force equal to 0, so this is the input force applied, that is F is equal to, which undergoes this m1 and b1, and the b2 is change in the displacement. So I can write m1 into s square, that is I am directly writing the this one, and x1 is the displacement x1 of s, plus b1, okay, b1 into s into x1 of s, okay, and b2, if you look at this, b2 is undergoing the change in the displacement of x1 and x2. So because this force applied, it is connected to this b2 and b1 and m1. Okay, so m1 and b1 is direct influence of this x1, so directly I can write m1 into square, but this b2 is undergoes the change in the displacement, that is why I write as b2 into s into x1 minus x2. Okay, so then at node 2, if I write this node 2, at node 2, that is node x2, what is the force applied at this node? Nothing, because the force is applied to x1 only. So I don't have force applied to that node x2, so 0. And we have that m2 and k both are directly under the influence of x2 node. So directly I can write m2 into s square into x2 of s. This is x2 of s. K into x2 of s. Then plus, once again, because this is after this node, means leaving this node and entering to this node. Entering to this node is b2. b2 is undergoes the change in the displacement. Once again, I can write b2 into s into x2 minus x1, because we are considering this node, so x2 minus x1. Okay, so now if you write this equations by replacing this, what you call, by using this force voltage analogy. So I'll take first is force voltage analogy. Force. Now I have written the governing equations at both nodes. I've developed the equivalent. First step is over, and also if you look at the second step is also over. So if you look at, I told only 3 steps in this. So first step is also draw the equivalent mechanism. So I have drawn this equivalent mechanism system. Then write the governing equation. Yes, these two are the governing equation for this physical system. So once you write this, then next is replace the mechanical terms with the electrical terms depending on the analogy which I am using. So I am using here the force voltage analogy. I am using the here force voltage analogy. So now you look at force voltage analysis. Now you need to know what are the elements which are going to write. In the case of force voltage analysis, force is replaced by voltage, then mass is replaced by inductance, then friction replaced by resistance, then K is replaced by 1 by C, then you have X is replaced by flow of charge, and velocity is replaced by current. Okay, so this is what the replacing elements in this case. Now you look at this governing equation. If you look at this governing equation, yeah, so this is the one which you need to take into consideration first. So force is replaced by what? V of s. Force is replaced by V of s. So I'll write the, so by I'm using this equation, first equation. So this is the first equation, that is node 1 equation. Okay, node 1 equation. So V of s is equal to m1 is replaced by what? Then we need to replace the L1, then s square, then x1 is replaced by what? Q, that is q1. Okay, so then q1 of s, I can write as q1 of s plus, then here is the b is there, b is replaced with the r, so b is replaced with r, so b1 is replaced with r1, b1 is replaced with r1, then s into q1 of s. Next is b2 is replaced with r2 and s, then x1 minus x2, that is nothing but q1 minus q2, that is nothing but q1 minus q2, mean q1 of s minus q2 of s. So this is the first equation. Then second equation, if you look at 0, then I'm writing this equation now. I'm writing this equation now, second one. Okay, so 0, m2 is replaced by L2, so s square, x2 is replaced by what? 2 of s plus, then 1 by c, k is replaced with what? 1 by c into x2 is nothing but q2 of s plus b2, b2 is replaced by r2 into s, then q2 of s minus q1 of s. Okay, so this is what we have written, but in terms of q1 q2 we are replacing this q with the I. We know that I of s is equal to q of s, s into q of s, s into q of s. So then q of s is equal to I of s by s. So wherever the q of s is there, that you replace with the I of S. So I of S by S. Now you look at this equation 1 and equation 2. That is V of S is equal to L1. See Q1 I am replacing with I1. Q1 in sense I1 of S by S. So S will be cancelled out. Directly I am writing L1 into S into I1 of S. So I am directly writing, okay. Then similarly R1 S into Q of S nothing but I1 of S by S. SS will be cancelled out. So I'll be getting R1 into I1 of S. Similarly, R2 into, so here Q1 of S minus Q2 of S. So I1 of S by S minus I2 of S by S. SS will be cancelled out. I write R2 into I1 of S minus I2 of S. Okay. So now second equation, that is 0 L2 into same way S square into Q2 of S. So I'll be replacing with the I2. Okay. S into I2 of S plus 1 by C, then Q2 of S is there, so I'll write as I of S by S, then plus R2 into, because I S into Q2, so it is SS will be cancelled out. I'll be getting R2 into I2 of S minus I1 of S. So this is the equation which I have got now. So now you can convert this into a what you call inverse Laplace transformation time domain equation also. So time domain equation, if I write, this is V of t applying the Laplace inverse Laplace transformation. So V of t is equal to, I can write L1 S into I d by dt of I of t, okay, plus R1 into I of t plus R2 into I1 of t. There is I1, okay, I1 of t. So here is I2, okay. So I1 of t, then minus I2 of t, okay. So this is what we can write the equation. Similarly, L2 into d by dt of I2 of t. This is I1 of t, and plus this is 1 by C integral of I2 of t dt, then plus R2 into I2 of t minus I1 of t. Next. So next is, based on this electrical equation, I need to write, because this is the voltage equations which are voltages are added. It means that it is connected in series. But here if you look at, there is a difference in the current, means there is a split in this. There is a split, means one R2 element. If you look at here, R2 element has the difference in the sense it is connected in between, connected between the two nodes. Okay, there is how many? See, now I'll write the equation here. First is V of S is given. V of S is given to the voltage is given to this equation. So first and foremost is L1 is connected directly and R is also connected directly. So L1 and R1 I'll write. This is R1. This is L1. Okay, this is R1. And then see here this current which is coming as say I1 of t. This is say I1 of t. So I1 is split into I say this is one more node here and it is going like this. This is what you can say R2, and here it is with the I2 of t. So the current here it is I2. See here it is I2 of t. So here if I want to find out how much it is going to be, I1 minus I2. I1 minus I2. So then this will become R2 into I1 minus I2. So that is what this thing. So similarly, so in the second equation, L2 is connected like this because L2 into I2, right? So I2 is connected, and also capacitor is connected. Capacitor is connected for this I2, I mean second loop. So these are connected once again. So here it is going with like this. So now here this is the I2 and this is the I1 minus I2. I1 minus I2. So once it is coming out like this, then it will become I1 of t. So I1 of t, so which is required in the first loop. So this is the thing which you have. This is called inductor. So this is the resistor which is connected between these two loops. So this is what we can call as force voltage analogy. So this is how we need to develop the electrical network. Similarly, we need to develop the force current analogy. By using the same mechanical equations. So now I apply second method is force current analogy. So similar fashion, we need to develop the force current analogy equations for the our mechanical equations. So what are the mechanical equations are there in the above? I'll rewrite the same mechanical equations. Here. So which is here. Yeah, the same equation. F is equal to m1 s square x1 b1s x1 plus b2s into x1 minus x2. So the same equations I'm rewriting there. M1s square plus b1s so f is equal to f of s is equal to m1 s square plus m1 s square into x1 of s plus b1 s into x1 of s, then b2 is connected with s into x1 of s minus x2 of s. So next is second is 0, and there are two elements are connected with the node, that is m2 into m2 into s square into x2 of t, right? Then plus one more is yeah. So m2 into s square x2 of s, then k and b2. So we have a k and b2. m2 into s square into x2 of t, then k into x2 of x2 of s, okay, then b2 into s into x2 of s minus x1 of s. So this is the two equations which you have. Now I have to replace this mechanical terms. With mechanical terms by using FI analogy. What are the terms which you have used? The FI analogy, we have the force is replaced with current I. Then we have a mass is replaced with the capacitance. Then we have a friction coefficient. Then reciprocal of resistance. Then K is reciprocal of inductance. Then we have a displacement replaced by flux, and the velocity is replaced by current. Voltage. Okay. So then this is the one which we are going to replace with the FI analogy So now we'll move to the writing the equivalent equations where the F is replaced with current, right? So I'm writing I Okay, anyway, it's not changing. So I write I of s by replacing this m1 is replaced with c1 s square pi. I mean, I write as a pi1 of s plus b1 is replaced by 1 by r1 into s into pi1 of s plus b2 is replaced by 1 by r2 into, we can say, pi1 minus pi2 s into pi1 minus pi2 of s, pi1 minus pi2 of s. So I of s is replaced with c1 s square pi1 of s plus 1 by r1 into s into pi1 of s plus 1 by r2 into s into pi1 of s minus pi2 of s. That is the first equation. Next, second equation is 0 into m2. In place of m2, I will replace as capacitor. M2 0 is equal to c2 into s square pi2 of s plus k is replaced by 1 by l into x2 of s is nothing but pi2 of s plus b2 is nothing but 1 by r2 into s into pi2 of s minus pi1 of s. So now this equation is replaced with the pi has to be replaced with the voltage. That is, we know that pi of s is equal to v of s by s. We know that pi of s is equal to v of s by s. So replacing these equations, I can write I of s is equal to c1 into s square. Of course, I can write directly. Okay, I can write directly c1 into s into here pi1 of s can be v of s by s. S is cancelled out, so I'll get v1 of s plus v1 of 1 by r1 v1 of s because ss will be cancelled out, then 1 by r2 ss will be cancelled out. I can write as v1 of s minus v2 of s. Similarly 1 by r2 here. Okay, right. Similarly this equation c2 into s into v2 of s plus 1 by l. So pi2 of s is nothing but what? Pi2 of s is nothing but v2 of s by yes, v2 of s by yes. So I write v2 of s by yes, then plus 1 by r2 into v2 of s minus v1 of s. So this is we can write this equivalent with the, so now this is the current. If I write the inverse Laplace transformation for the above two equations, that is, I can write this as the I of t. So I can write as this is I of t. So then c1 into s into vp means the dv by dt or d by dt of v 1 of t. Okay, then 1 by r this is nothing but v1 of t by r1 plus similarly v1 of t minus v2 of t by r2. Similarly, this 0 c2 into d by dt of v2 of t plus 1 by l 1 by s v2 of s by integral of, will get integral of v2 of t dt plus v2 of t minus v1 of t divided by r2. So these are the time domain equation. So for these time domain equations, we need to develop the analogous electrical network using this. So current is applied in the circuit. So first is I of t here, I of t is applied here. Now see, this is the sum of the currents, right? So that means that the elements are connected parallel. If these elements are connected parallel, so there is a one node called V1. There is a potential difference in the network. So this is V1 and V2. So under the V1 we have the capacitance 1 and then resistance 1 directly. So we can write the direct connectivity as C1 and then direct connectivity of R1. So R1, then these two are connected like this. Okay. Next is under this V1 and V2 we have a difference of V1 and V2. We have the resistance 2. So we can connect like this, which is R2 And under the V2 directly we have two elements. One is the capacitance and the inductance. So once again, this capacitor 2, we can connect capacitor 2 connect parallel, and then inductor cannot be connected a parallel one. So here I'll write capacitor 2, okay, and then one inductor is connected parallel. So these two are connected like this. So I can give the current to this. So this is how the I of t flows through this, and then voltage V1 and O2, potential differences between these two nodes. So it is just number of node voltages if I want to find out here. So how many node voltages I have to give, in the sense it is equivalent to the number of displacements present in the physical system. So there are number of two displacements, then the two node voltages will be written in the equivalent electrical circuit. So this is equivalent electrical circuit using the FI analogy. So this is how we need to solve the problem. So today I will stop here. Don't leave the class, wait a minute.